How in Arceus's name did we pull that out? Jets win in regulation in Anaheim. It's the first team to do that this year. 3-2 over the Anaheim Ducks. And while I'm rather happy about that, I'm also like, we tried to win the Leafs way, and that's not a good thing. The Ducks attempted, they had a Corsi 4 of 94. 94 shot attempts for. 42 hit the net. I think it was like 36 were blocked, and then they had a bunch miss the net. If Andre Pavlik was the Andre Pavlik of December, it would have gotten ugly, ugly, ugly real fast. And on top of that, Jonas Hiller, I don't know what he was doing on the Wheeler goal and the Kane goal. Lad goal, he really couldn't do much about, but, I mean, those were two stoppable shots, and he just let them in. So the Ducks probably would have been better off. Stupid flies. Starting Frederick Anderson, who did come in after the third goal and pitched a shutout the rest of the way. And what's kind of interesting about the Ducks goaltending, this is a useless fact that has nothing to do with the game. They have 5 goalies under NHL contract, all of different nationalities, not a single Canadian. You have Hiller from Switzerland, Anderson from Denmark, Victor Foss from Sweden. Where the hell has he been? He's been on IR the entire year? I really haven't been paying much attention to the Ducks, to be quite honest. Igor Bobkov of Russia and John Gibson of the States. The last two both have World Junior Gold medals, and the funny thing is, Bobkov won with Russia in the U.S. Gibson won with the U.S. in Russia. Funny how things work. So, my thoughts on the game. Number one, no James Wright made me extremely, extremely, extremely happy. And they won without him. So, Noel's pool boy is, I don't even know. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to send him down to St. John's and try and send him through waivers. I think there are a couple guys in St. John's who would be upgrades, particularly Carl Klingberg. A line of Klingberg, Odell, and Tangradi could do a lot better than what Noel was doing late in his tenure with Wright, Thorburn, and Peluso, or whoever he had there. But yeah, Pomo is 4-0. And that's very satisfying. Other thoughts on the game. Evander Kane is showing why you shouldn't trade him. So, to those of you Kane haters, you should probably jump off a cliff, because he is a very valuable asset to this team. And, I mean, if you were going to trade him, you would have to rip someone off, like, a big time. Like, Neil and Niskanen for Goligoski rip off. That's the only reason I would trade Kane. Like, if you were getting, like, Alex Ovechkin somehow, I would take that. But Washington would never do that. Although, they traded Philip Forsberg for Martin Erat, so I wouldn't rule anything out. Only one line actually had a positive shot differential in that game. It was the Lad Little Frolik line, and the funny story about that is Maurice actually went out and said that he used analytics to form that line because he wanted, the offense, but also a bit more defense there than they would have had with Bufflin or Wheeler on the first line on the right side, and it worked. I mean, Perry and Getzlaf combined for 1 point. It was an assist on a power play goal with Frolik not on the ice. Alright, let's talk about Mark Stewart. What were you doing on that penalty? He sold that so badly. Like, I appreciate his heart, but he's probably this team's worst defenseman, although one could make a case for Adam Party. I would not be surprised if Zach Redmond draws in San Jose coming up. Jacob Trouba was a +3 and continues to be the living embodiment of Jesus fucking Christ Almighty. Uh, in fact, both rookies had points. Although, granted, they were both secondary assists. But, hey, points matter. And Shifley continues to lead the league in assists among a rookie. And if neither him or Truba are nominated for the Calder, I know this is premeditated murder. I will kill 12 people on the spot. Okay, that was exaggeration. So, NSA, you can go fuck off. What else is there to say? I'm surprised. I have no idea how they won that game. They were dominated. Like, even on the power play, they looked lost. The only reason they won, Pavlik stood on his head. They blocked a mother load of shots. Ducks had a bunch of glorious chances go wide. So basically, they had a lot of luck in winning this game. Not to mention Jonas Hiller was terrible on 2 of the 3 goals against. Yeah, so the next game coming up is in San Jose. Uh-oh. I'm not looking forward to that game, but the Sharks have been reeling of late, and we've already beat them once this year. And that was when Tomas Hertl was actually healthy. Um, do you go with Pavlik? Do you go with Montoya? And give Pavlik a rest? I mean, Pavlik has been working his ass off since Maurice came. He started all 4 games, got 4 wins, and a 40 save performance tonight. He deserved that first star, honestly. That was his best performance of the season by far. By far. Maybe his best in his entire tenure as Jets goaltender. So, yeah, not much left to say. Other than the Ducks, damn, they're good. And if they don't, at least make it to the Western Conference Finals, they're going to have a long summer of what ifs. And can any Ducks fan tell me why they sent down Sammy Vatanen? I don't really understand why. I'm biased because I like Sammy Vatanen a lot. I think he's going to be a very good offensive defenseman. He's already been finished defenseman of the year twice, and that was while he was junior aged. Junior aged. Um, and they sent him down to Norfolk, even though only I think it was one defenseman that had more points than him, and that was Hampus Lindholm. No, 2. Lindholm and Cam Fowler. Wow, the Ducks have some scary good defensemen in the pipeline. Because they got Lindholm, they have Vatanen, they have Fowler. Those 3 are already pro. Then they have Shea Theodore and some other guys. Yeah, they're good. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Um, yeah,